Big commitment here, Notre Dame fans. Four-star running back Jaden Lamarr from Lake Stevens High School in Washington commits to the Fighting Irish. Got his rankings popped up on the screen. Four-star, number 265 overall player, number 16 running back, according to the On3 consensus. And you can also see where the other four major recruiting websites have him ranked as well. So big commitment here. Get Tim Hyde from blueandgold.com, our football analyst, to break it down. So, for just initial thoughts, Tim, when you learned that Jaden Lamarr is committed to the Fighting Irish.
You know what? He's a shifty running back. That's the first thing you notice on his football film because you're like, all right, is he power, breakaway speed? You know what? He's shifty. He's a really good inside the box runner on the inside zones and whatnot. I really like. I mean, he's one of those guys that grows on you at first. You got to watch his film to get going. Like, okay, what's the competition? What is his true speed? He definitely looks like a speed guy, no doubt about that. And you see some of his film where this kid can cuts on a dime, like boom, one cut and goes, and really impressive. And the one thing I noticed in watching his film multiple times is he's got great vision. This kid has amazing eyes. You know, the way like he just sees things, and he's just always trying to find a way to make plays and make holes. And the first guy I thought about, I'll be honest with you, with his size and the way he cuts, and he plays a lot more physical than his size, is Kyron Williams. You know, he's got a little bit of Kyron in him when you think back to some of Kyron's big plays and big games over the years. He kind of looks like him on some of these plays here.
Yeah, it's a nice get here for the Fighting Irish. I mean, the Kyron comp, that's pretty interesting. I think
Yeah.
he's a little bit of like a Kyron Chris Tyree mix. Kyron was just so all around as a player,
Mhm.
whereas I think the knock on Tyree might be, he's super fast, but a little bit more of a one trick pony. Like I think Lamar is a little bit in between there. Is that a? I don't know if this is a good
No,
assessment of your opinion.
no, and I agree. It's I went back, as we've been talking on the message board and whatnot, talking about this recruiting class. The last great one, highly ranked one, obviously is 2013, and Jaden Lamar will be the fifth highest ranked running back basically over the last decade at Notre Dame. So he's up there when comparing him to so many other running backs that they've had. So my thing with Kyron Williams is I went on YouTube, found some more film of him online, and he's a lot more physical than people or think he is, because a lot of bubble screens and middle screens and whatnot, some outside tosses. You watch some of his games, some of his really cut ups and whatnot. He's physical. Don't see him pass blocking. Obviously, that was Kyron's bread and butter, but he there's something about him. The more you watch him, he really does make some really good football plays, and he reminded me a lot of Jadarian Price as well.
Okay.
Just trying to like see some of these guys they've recruited the last few years. But
Yeah.
Tyree, you mentioned Tyree was just, I mean, he's going to go in a heartbeat. So
Yeah, I think he's got like, I don't know if he's as fast as Chris Tyree, but he just has that kind of speed element to his game that Kyron Williams didn't so much have, but he does seem to have this bruising
yes,
vision ability that Kyron had as well. Man, when you watch his junior tape here, it's like they have this little screenplay to him, this inside screen. I don't know how it wasn't stopped more. They ran it so much. I don't know how the other teams in scheme against that a little bit better. But when I was able to meet Jaden in person in April, I mean, I don't. I haven't seen many running backs built like him. I mean, it's very strong kid, biceps the size of my head. Like Jaden Lamar, is yeah, he's a load. Like he's a big dude. And I was talking to his dad, and he was like, "Yeah, actually, Jaden's coming off of an upper body injury, and he hadn't been in the weight room much recently." And I'm like, "And he looks like that."
yeah.
So hey, there's a little receiving skills as well. So wanted to throw that nugget out there. Like you see pictures of Jaden Lamar, and yeah, he's got quite the
Well,
quite the arms.
Yeah, well, look at that play right there, Mike. I mean, that's the other thing. When I think of Kyron could catch the ball all over the place, and Lamar, going back to just his shiftiness, he seems so elusive, but he got great hands, great eyes, and those are two awesome things that he's going to be bringing to South Bend. And there's some film I found online where he's the Wildcat quarterback running the ball with physicality, and that's what really impressed me. That I think he does bring that.
I love those receptions. I wish those were a little earlier in the highlight tape so we could see those right away because, yeah, he looks good as a receiver as well. So just taking a look, Tim, overall, running back recruiting, Fighting Irish just last week lost a commitment from Cedric Irvin Jr. Kind of seemed like a writing on the wall situation when you think, okay, Notre Dame looks really good to land Jaden Lamarr. They look pretty good to land Jeremiah Love, another big-time back out of St. Louis. Fighting Irish bringing 5-star Richard Young on campus in June. So it just kind of seemed like all those guys officially are visiting in June. Seemed like, the writing, again, was on the wall for Irvin. So just when you look at running back recruiting in general right now for the Irish, I mean, you got to feel pretty good, right?
Oh yes, yes. I mean, if they got all three of those, I mean, come on. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's like an Alabama type looking class. Some of the classes they've had in the past, it is looking good. Lamar, because I think Lamar could do a few things. He could play special teams. He could be a return guy. The way he could wiggle and whatnot. And when at Love, I mean, we've watched Love's film before. He's an SEC tailback. He is. You see those guys all over the SEC, and Notre Dame would be getting a legit guy that can run outside zone in the Tommy Rees here he stand blocking schemes that they like to run. He's unbelievable, and Richard Young would just be dynamic. I mean, Notre Dame hasn't had a guy like him in a long time. If they're able to go in, pull that upset, that would be kudos to Marcus Freeman. That would probably, I mean, you would have to. I mean, you've been around recruiting a long time, Mike. Young to Notre Dame would have to be a high top five type of an upset.
Oh yeah, I mean the young man had two top lists put out in the past few months, and none of them included Notre Dame. And then all of a sudden, hey, take an official to Notre Dame. So yeah, really nice get for Deland McCullough. And I mean, look at these past few classes. 2020 signed Chris Tyree. 2021 Logan Diggs and Audric Estime. 2022 Jadarian Price, who I'm told is the future. That's what one source told me close to Notre Dame football program. Like, he's a dude. And then Jabran Payne, McCullough signed him at Indiana. McCullough's now at Notre Dame, obviously. And Payne has now followed him to South Bend. And then nice get here with Jaden Lamarr. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our channel, blueandgold.com. And, of course, you can go to the website and sign up $1 for 1 year premium access. All the good written coverage. If you like what we do on YouTube, you'll love all of our content on the site and our message board, the Loose Emoji Board. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time.